this tour started, my name's Maddie, I'll be your tour guide this morning, and let's get right into a little bit of the history behind the mystery here at the spot. Now in 1939, all this land around us was owned by a lumber company, and this lumber company had two plots of land. They had one which we now know as the Mystery Spot parking lot, and the other was this hillside. Now once they were done working on these, they wanted to sell them off, and a man by the name of Mr. George Prather had his sights set on the flat building ground out there, though they would only sell it to him as long as he agreed to buy some of the hillside with it. Now, only once he agreed to that deal did they then warn him not to build anything up on the hillside, as it was known to be pretty dangerous. And anything that lumber company tried building up there had come sliding right off the hillside. Now, the first of which was as they made their way up the hill, they felt like it was exceptionally difficult. Like there was a really strong force pressing right up against their chest. I hope you guys are excited for that. Yeah. The second strange thing was that their compasses were giving off all sorts of crazy readings. They were up to 180 degrees off in some areas, meaning that east is reading as west, west is reading as east, and it all goes south from here. A lot like my jokes. Now, the third strange thing was all this weird stuff was happening in one very large circle, an area of about 150 feet in diameter, with that border going through these trees, up that hillside, behind the cabin, back down this hill, and through these cement blocks. Which means that everyone on this side is inside the mystery spot.
250 from here?
Yeah, over on this end, wrapping up this way, you guys that should explain why you're feeling so mysterious, right? And why everyone on this side might feel a little ripped off. Don't worry, we'll get our $10 worth very soon here. I actually have a lot of people tell me, once they cross the boundary, they seem to feel a little bit lighter. Usually around $10 lighter. Now, these cement blocks were originally put here in 1940. They marked that boundary, and once upon a time they were pretty level, though after many years, especially this tree's roots growing, they really pushed up and offset the blocks here a tiny bit. And we do need them to be level for our demonstration, so we had to come up with some kind of solution. And you know, we love our trees here in Santa Cruz, right? We don't want to cut them down. So instead we went down to Monterey. We cut down one of their trees, got these 2x4s here, and shaved them down on either end to recreate that flat and level platform. Now I can show you all just how level it is with this handy tool here. Does anyone know how a level works?
Yes.
Great. Well, I'm required to explain it to you guys anyways. So we have a vial of liquid in here. It's got a bubble floating around. The bubble floats up to whichever side is higher, though in the case of being on a flat and level platform, that bubble will stay right in the middle. It'll stay right between the black lines. Now I'll go ahead and set this down on the boards here. Make sure we do have a flat and level platform. Here we go. And would someone like to come up to check to see where that bubble is? Anyone come take a look?
Yeah, it's in the middle.
In the middle? Does that look centered?
Yeah.
Perfect. Thank you guys. What's that?
It's lower.
Does it feel lower that way?
Yeah.
But yeah, you can see it's right there in the middle.
I know.
And so it does look pretty strange. So here, there are a few ways you can break a level. I can show you here. Some people say, you know, you can freeze the liquid in here. It would keep that bubble stuck right in the center. But as you guys can see, that bubble's floating around, right? No frozen liquid here. Now the other way would be to shave down one end of the level, make one side a little bit bigger than the other, kind of like we did to the 2x4s here. That way, if you put it down on an uneven platform, you can make it appear to be level. But I can disprove that, as that would only work in one direction. So here, I'll set it back down. There we go. Would someone like to check for me one more time, see where that bubble is? Would you like to take a look? In the middle, and then here I'll flip it around to the other side just to really make sure. So there, all right, perfect, thank you so much. Now knowing we have this flat and level platform, we're gonna do our first demonstration to show you guys some of that weirdness that's going on around here. So for this I'm gonna need some volunteers. Can I get 2 volunteers who are roughly equal height to each other? Here, would you two like to come up? There we go, perfect. If I can have one of you stand on this end. Oh, you can put 1 foot on each of those. Mysterious forces around here. There we go, you can turn to face the middle. Really, if you want to turn to face this way, if you want to step on it just like this on that end. Here we go, and if you want to do the same over here. All right, perfect. Now, I will measure your eye level here. If you do stand up nice and tall. Let me see here. So it looks like you're looking just about maybe the nose level. Right now, if you two want to switch places for me, we can see the effects of when one person leaves the mystery spot and the other enters. If you two want to switch around. There we go. There we go. Look at that here.
You got taller.
Yeah, it looks like you got a little bit taller. Let me measure one more time. And yeah, looks like you two are just about the same height. Looks like you grew a little bit. Or maybe you shrank. There we go. Yeah, they are level. But here, don't worry, any lost height can be bought back in the gift store at the end of the tour. Give a round of applause for our volunteer. Thank you guys for coming up. You guys are great. Now, this is pretty strange, but we actually have this part of the mystery solved. So we found out when you're standing outside the boundary, you stand up nice and tall. Whereas once you cross over into the mystery spot, you develop a very slight lean. It's about a 3-degree lean here. It may be a little hard to notice, but you can see it a bit easier in the trees right behind me. We have one tree growing outside the mystery spot, and it's growing straight up. And we have the second tree within that boundary, and this one has that little bit of a lean on it. Gets a bit more noticeable as it goes up. Now that lean is what's making you appear to be losing an inch or two, since you're not standing totally straight up. Now if you guys want to take a look at that Life magazine poster on the side of the ticket shop, that's the cover of Life magazine, 1948, with the Hardings couple on the cover there. And they're showing off that full 17-degree lean we get up to in that exact cabin. Now we found that the strangest thing about that photo isn't the lean that they're showing off, and it's certainly not how high that man's pants are. But we did a little bit of digging into the records, and we found out that the woman in that photo, you wouldn't believe this, her name is Eileen. Get it, Eileen?
Eileen.
Listen, you guys, it's a $10 tour. I've only prepared $10 jokes, just warning you guys now. Now, in a moment, we're gonna start heading up the hillside, but like I said, it might feel a little bit more difficult than you think. So if you guys can go ahead and use those handrails on the way up if you need that. Does that sound good to everyone?
Yeah.
All right, let's start heading up this hillside. Is there anything strange about me you've noticed? Please be nice. That's right, yeah, it looks like I have a really weird lean on me. And actually, if you take a look around at the rest of us, we all have that same lean on us. It's about an 11-degree lean out here in front of the cabin, so we're gonna do a little activity with this. If everyone wants to go ahead and face it downhill for me, and put those feet together, maybe spread out a little bit if you need some room. Now, if you look down at your feet, you can see they've shot out in front of you. I actually had a pregnant lady on my tour yesterday tell me it was the first time she'd seen her feet in months. Now, we're gonna turn around and face uphill, and again, keep those feet together. Now, if you look down at your feet, you can see they've shot out behind you and disappeared. But not only this, some people told me they felt a sort of spiritual presence in this position. So we're gonna go ahead and try and channel that for a moment. If you want to take both your hands and throw them out behind your back. And take your left hand and press those fingers up into your forehead as sort of a conduit for that spiritual energy. Now, if you really lean into it, you can see we've all been possessed by the spirit of Michael Jackson. Real thriller of a joke, am I right, guys? And if you didn't like those, you can just beat it. No, this cabin was not originally built right here like this, but about 20 feet up the hillside over in that direction on its original foundation when a storm in the winter of 1940 blew it right off and it came sliding down the hillside. Now, does anyone have a guess as to what could have stopped the cabin right here? The tree! Give a round of applause! The tree! Unfortunately, that is the wrong answer. I'm very sorry. I would like to appreciate all my answers here. And if you remember, this land was bought from a lumber company. And what do we know they like to do to those trees? Cut them all down, that's right. Now, knowing the area was empty of all of its trees, we believe the cabin stopped right here because this is the dead center of the mystery spot, where those forces are pushing and pulling it, keeping it locked right here. Now, being this close to the center, we have a neat tool we're going to bring out to show you guys some of that weirdness going on here. But this tool is a little bit shy. It's going to need some encouragement from you guys to come out. You guys are going to need to give it your best, your loudest sounds of awe and inspiration. We're gonna try this all together. You need to give it your best, your loudest. Ooh. Followed by an even louder and more mysterious. Ooh. All right, we're gonna try this all together. And listen, you guys, I know it's early, but my boss is down at the bottom of the hill doing payroll right now. And if he doesn't hear you guys, I don't get paid. Come on, you're ready for the one, the only, the eighth wonder of the world, the Board of Mystery. Ooh. It's a piece of wood from Home Depot. Now we're gonna play one of our favorite games here at the spot. It's called Which Side is Higher? Who thinks this end of the board is the higher end? All right, got some votes there. Anyone think the inside part of the board is the higher end? A few more votes there. Anyone think this board is flat and level here? All right. I'm seeing a lot of non-voting. Very American. At this level here, it's a bit more of a portable version than the one down at the start, and I'll go put it right on the board here. And would someone like to come take a look to see where that bubble is?
Oh,
Here,
wow.
Yusuf, can you check? And can you tell everybody in your best tour guide voice where the bubble is?
It's middle.
In the middle! There we go, that's what I like to hear. Now, knowing it's right there in the center, I'm going to take out this magic device here. Something I know we all carry in us at all times. I'll take out my pool ball, my cue ball here. And here, sir, I'm going to take this right here. No, I'll set this right here. And as I roll it in, you guys can see. If I set it down, where is the ball going to go?
Downside.
It
Down.
should stay there, right? If it's a flat board, it shouldn't go anywhere. So here, I'll set it down and you guys can see that the ball starts rolling out. Now here, I didn't just push it out. How about I roll it into the cabin?
How many video ba?
You guys can see, slows down to that stop. Comes rolling right back out. Now, I've had some people say, it must be a trick ball, right? We must have a magnet in there, maybe a motor, maybe a very well-trained hamster. We pay $5 an hour. Does it sound like a hamster's in here? You hear something? No. Just to really make sure then? No more hamster. I'll show you again. We roll that ball in. Still, sometimes that stop rolls right back out. Now some others say, what about this weird groove in the board? So I can show you guys, we have the groove here to make sure the ball stays in the center of the board so it doesn't just roll every which way. They what if we cut it in a strange way that shoots it out the same direction every time? So here, I'll go ahead and I'll flip it around, set it right back. Show you guys again here. We roll that ball in. Still, sometimes that stop rolls right back out. Now lastly, some others are really hard to convince. They say, there's like a million different ways you can rig a ball, right? So here, I'll take out something that I absolutely cannot rig. I'll take out my Kirkland brand vegan water. I'll pour this right on the board here. And as I pour all the way on this inner end, you guys can see that the water just comes rolling right off. Ooh. And not only this, but the magical board transforms the water into vodka! Yeah! I'm kidding. It was vodka the whole time. Now, in just a moment, we're gonna head on into the cabin. While we're in there, we're gonna do a couple safety demonstrations first. The sooner we get them done, the more time you guys are gonna have to take photos. And while we're in there, if we're getting up and down the table, we have these steps right down here, though they may feel a little bit more like stairs. And while you are up here, please, very important, do not jump off the table. Why? It's pretty weird in here. You're not gonna land where you think you're gonna land. You could fall and get hurt. And we have a camera right there. We're gonna watch you fall over and over and laugh at you guys, all right? Now, in that second room, we have a platform, perfect to take that Eileen cover photo pose of two people facing one another. And we have a ladder against the wall that looks like a ladder. It may feel a little bit more like stairs. You can do some poses on the wall. You can hold a bar, do some Spider-Man, Superman, whatever you like. Now you guys are gonna have some time to take photos. I'll give you a 2-minute warning at the end. And if you need me, have any questions, or want me to take your photo for you guys, I'll be in the first room, all right? All right, have fun, you guys. And if I can have about half of you check out that second room, just to free up some space for everyone to take photos. had this bench installed out here for people who were feeling some of that dizziness or nausea. But, you know, I'm taking a look at it right now, and it kind of looks like the worst bench ever, right? Not a whole lot of legroom going on around here, so you might as well just sit anywhere. So we decided to repurpose it, and now we use it for our demonstrations. That being said, yeah, we're going to try and find that out in a moment here. Who thinks this end of the bench is the higher end? Alright. Anyone think this end of the bench is the higher end? Anyone think this bench is flat and level here? Alright, there are those hands. Anyone not thinking at all? There we go. Now here, I'll take out my level one more time. And if I set it right here, can you guys point to which way that bubble's going? Oh, we did that end, right. Which should mean that end is a lot higher than that end. Yeah. So here, if I take out my ball one more time, if I set it down on the bench, which way do we think it's gonna roll? It should roll down this way, right? It should roll downhill. So here, I'll set it down and you guys can see that the ball rolls downhill.
That's cool.
It's a $10 tour. You're only gonna see the ball roll uphill once. But now knowing that this is indeed the lower end or downhill, and that's the upper end or uphill, I'm gonna start walking uphill, and I want you guys to see if you can notice anything change about it. Alright, here we go.
Everybody can come on top of the table, but if you are
You're getting smaller.
Yeah, it looks like I'm getting smaller, right? Now, does anyone have any idea what might be causing this?
Maybe
Yes, about the angle?
the slope.
Yeah, the slope, there's the slanted angle of the roofline behind me that could be causing an optical illusion, making it look like I'm gaining or losing height. But we're gonna do a quick demonstration here to show you guys it's actually not just the roofline. And there is actually a whole lot more going on around here with these differences in height. So for this, I'm gonna need some more volunteers. Do I have anyone who's around 6 feet tall? Very close, you guys. Would you like to come up?
6 feet?
You're gonna take the center of the bench for me. Very close. Here we go, you can turn to face the audience. Now, do I have anyone around 5'10"? Would you like to come down? I'm gonna take a spot right next to him. Do I have anyone around 5'9", maybe 5'8"? Anyone? Maybe 5'7"? Yeah. Would you like to come down? I'm gonna take the spot right here. Anyone around 5'6"? Would you like to come down? You take a spot right here. And lastly, do I have anyone around 5'5", maybe 5'4"? Would you like to come down? You can take that last spot down there. Alright, perfect. Now we have this beautiful AT&T bar of people up here. You guys can check the right, make sure that person is a little bit shorter, and check your left, make sure they are a little bit taller. Right, perfect. Now in just a moment, I'm gonna ask that you two on the ends here switch places for me. Not just yet, I love the eagerness though. Here, then you two here in the middle are gonna switch, and then you, sir, you have the most important job, alright? I need you to stand right there for us. Can you do that? Yeah. Perfect, you guys can start switching around. Usually I have the person in the middle spin around a bunch of times, but you look nice, I won't make you do that. There we go. Alright, now do we notice anything? It looks like they're all around the same height now, right? Which is pretty strange since you two went uphill, but seem to have gotten a little bit shorter. And you two came downhill, got a little bit taller. Looks like you're about 5'10" over here now.
It should be permanent.
Yeah. Now here, just to show you guys how drastic of a height difference this really is, can I have you two on the ends here switch back for me just one last time? Ooh. Just to see that drastic difference in height, even though they both just looked to be about the same a moment ago. Now, sir, how does it feel being back down here? It's a little more, right? I'll just stand on this end, makes you feel a little bit taller. And take a look at the way that he's standing right now. He's got that chest out, that chin up. Not only did he gain height, but he gained confidence! Yeah! Now, while you are still up here, we're gonna do one last little test. It's gonna be a bit of a balanced test, but nothing too intense. If you want to take one hand and place it on your stomach, and take your other hand and place it on your back to hug your center of gravity. Now we're going to look at the wooden line here on the ground, and you can start bending at the hip just as far as you can, nothing too intense. And can everyone give them a round of applause? One last test to really make sure it's not just that roof line. So for this, can I get one more volunteer? Would you like to come down? You can take that into the bench for me. Now, very important question for you. Are you more of a cat or a dog person? Dog? Alright, perfect. I'll take this level here, and I'll start bringing it down the fence. And when it gets to about your eye level, I want you to go ahead and let me know with your best dog bark. Now that's part very important. If you can take your right hand and cover your eye a little bit, just to make sure you can't see the roof line. Make sure it's not causing any weird optical illusion. Alright, now are you ready? Here we go, I'm bringing it down. Perfect. Now I'll hold it right here if you want to start walking up the bench to meet where your eye level was. Remember, he's walking uphill right now. Wait a minute. He's an 8-inch level. That's over an 8-inch difference in height, even walking uphill. That's pretty strange. Give a round of applause for volunteer. Thank you for coming up. You did great. Now with that, we're going to head into the last section of the tour if you guys want to follow me through this gate. And you guys can stand anywhere you like or on the fences here. We got plenty of room. There you go. We've also got a couple of steps down here to take a seat if you're so inclined. Great. Now down here we have our T blocks. Very creatively named, I know. They're very similar to the blocks down at the start of our tour, and much like those, these have been offset a little bit over the years. Now, does anyone have any idea as to what event in 1989 caused the cracks here in the ground and offset the blocks here a tiny bit?
Loma Prieta.
That's right, the 1989 Loma Prieta earthquake offset the blocks here a tiny bit. And if I take my level one last time, I'll put it right here in the middle. And you guys can see that it's very close to being level, but it's a tiny bit off over in this direction.
Yeah.
Now, we actually calculated that this end of the block ended up being about 2 inches higher than that end. But for our final demonstration, we're going to show you guys. Again, these height differences are not quite what they'd seem. And we're going to see a difference of a lot more than just those 2 inches. So for this, can I get one more very trustworthy volunteer? Would you like to come up? No, here, we can get you down in a moment. But here, are you sure that I can trust you? Yeah, have any of my jokes been funny so far?
Yep.
I don't know if I believe that. Here, how many fingers am I holding up?
2.
Perfect, you're hired. If you'll take a spot over there for me. You're gonna be our scientific observer, all right? Now we're gonna have 2 more volunteers. Do you know around how tall you are?
Like 5'3".
5'3"? Do I have anyone around 5'3"? Maybe 5'4", 5'2"? Would you like to come down?
5'3".
That's close enough. If I could have one of you stand all the way on this end and one of you all the way on this end. Perfect.
Oh,
Now, very important job for you here. I need you to tell me which of these 2 people looks taller. So taller on this side, all right? Now, are you more of a cat or a dog person? Cat, all right, perfect, me too. I'm gonna take this level here and I'll start bringing it down. And when it gets to about the top of their head over on this side, so it's all there over here, I want you to go ahead and let me know with your best cat meow. Are you ready? Here we go, I'm bringing it down.
Meow.
Yeah.
Perfect. I'll hold it right here if you 2 want to switch places for me. I'll try and hold this as still as I can if you 2 want to swap. Ooh, a lot more than 2 inches we were just talking about. And wait a minute, you said that she was taller, right? What's going on here? I thought I could trust you. That's okay, it's pretty weird around here. We'll give you a second chance. Who looks taller here now? Looks a little taller on this side, right? Now again, just let me know with your best meow when it gets to about the top of our head over here. Are you ready? Here we go, I'm bringing it down.
Meow.
Perfect. And if you 2 want to swap back for me one last time. Ooh, again. A little bit closer, but still pretty off. What's going on here?
Because that's uphill and then that's
Yeah, but we found out that was about 2 inches taller, but it ended up looking a lot more than 2 inches, right? But don't worry, this does happen every time. And if you want that height back, I'm sure you can just ask her for it, all right? Give a round of applause for our volunteers. Thank you guys for coming up. You guys did great. Now, we've seen a whole lot of strange things going on around here, a lot of weird happenings. Who wants to know what's going on here? Who wants to know the mystery?
Yeah.
Me too! If we knew what it was, we'd be called the solve spot, not the mystery spot, right? But after working here for a while, we've heard a lot of crazy theories, so I'll share with you guys our 3 favorite theories we've heard. Now the first of which is that deep underneath of us, underneath the Earth's surface, is a large chamber of magma. And this magma is spinning. It's spinning in a direction opposite to the Earth's rotation, which is causing a gravitational vortex right in this area, which would explain the slight odd pushing and pulling in weird directions. Now our second theory is a little bit more fun, is that deep underneath of us, seeping up through an open fault line, through the soil and into the air are hallucinogenic gases that we've all been breathing in this last 30-40 minutes.
No.
Which means that we've all just experienced one big group trip. Welcome to Santa Cruz. Now, our third theory is actually my favorite theory. So to set the mood, can everyone put your hands together and start rubbing them like we're conspiring, like we're scheming? Now, thousands of years ago, hundreds of thousands of years ago, aliens crash landed into this hillside, their technology causing all sorts of gravitational disturbances. Now, unable to return home, they needed to survive here on Earth. No, they wanted to thrive here on Earth. So what did they do? They took over humans' bodies and put on weird mystery spot t-shirts and gross green cargo pants. Used their mind control to trick people into oohing and awing at a piece of wood and making animal noises and rubbing their hands together for no reason. And now can you all put your hands together and point in this direction and start clapping. If you guys liked the tour, my name is Maddie. And if you didn't, my name is Andy. And here we have one more treat for you guys before you go. They're yellow, they're sticky, they're natives of the Santa Cruz area. It's Mystery Spot Bumper Stickers! Woo! They're all free to grab it on the way out. And thank you all so much for coming. Let's go. There we go.
Thank you.
You know, of course, and if you don't have a bumper to put it on, go ahead, find a poorly parked car in the parking lot. Stick it on one of those.